Bench Opinions. Three idiots with amateur analysis.
Welcome to another episode of Bench Opinions, everyone. It's another week has come and gone.
And another one has come.
No, we'll come next week.
Okay.
You guys have just returned from London.
Yeah, if I sound like Sean Connery, it's because I did a lot of shouting.
Klaus was just woken up from a nap, so we gotta get him. We gotta get him moving.
That's also sounding like Sean Connery.
So we're gonna discuss the outcome of the cricket or you will have heard a World Test Championship final special. But maybe just quickly, all in all, successful trip.
Very good. I mean, my observation of the week is London, just generally. The amount of fucking... So you go to a cricket stadium and you think, there's no way I could spend any more time anywhere else other than in the stadium because I'm at a cricket game for 4 days in a row. Incorrect. Public transport.
Is it?
My God, it takes forever to get anywhere in that fucking place.
It's big though.
We were on the same side of town.
Yeah.
Good God.
How did you have to get there? Bus or what?
No, it was two trains.
Two trains.
Okay.
But
It was about just over an hour.
Southwestern Rail and then
Underground.
Jubilee Line.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a short walk.
To St. John's Wood. Good name for a station.
Lovely. Yeah, it's. I used to live with Fiona in West Brompton, which is close to Fulham. And then when we wanted to get anywhere, there was one line, and then sometimes we had to take the bus, the number 19 there, and then sometimes you would stand, and then it would just fucking drive by. Just
Apparently you have to wave them down.
you can wave at some of those bras. They don't give a shit. If they don't feel like it, they're just like, no, I didn't see him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds friendly.
Yeah, listen. We said the German public transport is a lot better, and I think once you go to London and you realize the scope of it, the size of it, it's definitely a step up here.
I mean, I would still give the public transport a good score. It's just, everything's very far apart. That's not so much.
Sorry your Airbnb wasn't fucking right at the stadium.
Beautiful Airbnb, good job.
I need to write a review for them, so you need to tell me what to write.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Well done.
Thumbs up.
You didn't spend much time there,
Yeah, I
though.
spent about 25 minutes there on day one. And the rest of the time, I don't really recall.
I remember the last night, I woke up at like 3 a.m. and Dominic's room is still open. The door's still open. All the lights in the apartment are on. I'm still fully clothed and all of the, I was going to say Springbok regalia. And Fergal wasn't home. He had gone to stay at somebody else's place. Yes, bro.
Rough.
That Friday was horrible.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the worst hangover flights of my life.
Friday. You got it back yesterday, so Sunday.
That's how bad it was. I can't even remember which day we flew.
I was quite
Sorry,
worried
Sunday.
about, because obviously I booked the Airbnb and I take great pride in my Airbnb rating. You know, I wasn't there to control you guys.
No,
Is this the same pride you take in your Uber rating?
No, that's not the same.
Just checking.
Uber's different though to Airbnb because Airbnb you have to be polite leading up to the thing. Keep it obviously nice, neat and tidy, don't break everything, and then be polite afterwards. Uber, I mean, they see me at my worst. I'm fucking falling in the back of that car, absolutely drunk.
The good thing about most Airbnbs is that you don't see the person.
Yeah.
So, I come, I go. You never knew I was even there. The Uber, it's a very personal experience.
That wasn't the case when I went to Liverpool. Did I tell you about that? It was like this lady's, it was in her house. She'd rented out.
Oh, yes, but I never heard the
She rented
aftermath.
out the 3 rooms like in her house. So there was different couples staying in different rooms, and me and a mate were in what I assume were her children's bedroom because all her children's things were still there. Like there was little stuffed toys still on the bed. It was a bit creepy.
So I was talking to our friend Knights, and he was saying that during Fringe Festival, which is in August in Edinburgh, some people ask for £400 a day for like a studio apartment on Airbnb.
Jesus.
That's wild.
I mean,
I'd buy an apartment in Edinburgh just so I can rent it out for that month.
You've got to strike while the iron's hot there in Edinburgh, and once the people are there, you've got to get your cash.
Unreal.
I mean, when we went there for the rugby last year, I know you'd found a
hotel, wasn't it?
hotel somewhere that was all right. Fiona and I stayed in a fucking terrible hotel. Jesus.
Yeah, what was the Holiday Inn Express or what was
It
it?
was something similar to that, and it's like for some reason, these hotels, like, the way that they save money now is that they make the toilets less and less private. It's just,
Here's a curtain.
yeah, it's basically just like this fucking thin sheet of paper dividing you and whoever you're sharing a room with, which, I mean, if you're doing like a fucking week's worth of solid drinking, can pose a little bit of problems.
Where was that hotel where when you sat down on the toilet you
That
could
was in
still see me?
Amsterdam.
Oh, my
No,
word.
wait.
No, we stayed in a hotel.
Oh.
When you sat down, you could still see over like the frosted glass. That, they had
That was in
between-
Hamburg
in Hamburg.
before High Rocks. That was very uncomfortable.
It's true.
And I keep having to tell you to put your headphones in when I went to the loo.
I do. Yeah, I would love to get in the heads of architects for hotels because they do seem to they're like, we're going to find the most complicated solution to this very simple problem. Like, and the types of doors you have, like glass sliding doors.
Or like the door to the shower is the same door to like the the door to the bathroom. And you can only close one at a time or something. It's always very elaborate. Do you know what's a real shit show? There's an EasyJet hotel here at Rosenthaler, Rosenthaler Platz. And I stayed there once before I lived here when I came here for work.
That looks terrible from the outside.
And that is literally like, it's almost like you need to fold your bed away and then you can only fucking unpack your suitcase. That's how little space there is in that room. It's tiny. It feels like the size of our bathroom.
That's probably the size of an EasyJet bathroom.
Yeah.
Tiny homes are cool now, bro. So maybe that's what's coming from
Then
that.
it's just,
For tiny people, not when you're like 6'4".
I don't know if I could sleep in one of those, like, you know, those Japanese hostels where they just put you in a door.
Essentially, they put you in a morgue.
Yeah.
What they call it? They call it like capsule
Pod.
Yeah, pods.
pods. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm fine. I don't need to move that much, but the thought of being in that pod would creep me out. And then I'd get claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic.
If I shared,
You make that joke all the time. When I say it, there's a problem.
my problem is if I share this pod with someone, every time they come back in, I'm going to sit up and knock my
No, I
head.
don't think there's sharing pods there. I think it's one man.
No, those are 2-man pods.
Really?
Yeah. I would wake up and be heavily concussed because
But no-
anyone comes into the room, I have to sit up
But
in
no
my sleep.
fuffling in there, eh?
No, yeah, that's difficult.
Unless you can do it on very little space.
We're not that kind of a show. Let's move on from
Okay.
that.
What are you talking about?
I'm just really. We've never recorded the podcast this early in the afternoon, and I'm just realizing how white I am with the sunshine reflecting it.
Well, you're very pale, but
It's weird. It's like you didn't just spend 4 days in the basking sun.
Well, that just goes to show that the sun in the UK is very different than the sun in South Africa.
do you have an observation from your stay in London, or is it not London related?
Well, I mean, there's lots of observations from London, as Dominic's already alluded to, but I found it really, really enjoyable how the Australians and South Africans and also the English are on par with one another when it comes to banter.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, we meet enough expats here, but I found it to be like just on that next level, being in the UK, and the banter was
some nice videos of you leading some song and dance afterwards, right in your element.
Yeah, I was pig in shit, as my girlfriend would always say. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it seemed like everyone got the memo, which they did. I mean, I think it helped that the English don't like the Australians. So they were like, a lot of them were just the neutrals.
It seemed like it was very South African dominant, that crowd.
No, I would say 50-50, to be
Really?
honest.
maybe
Yeah.
the last day a bit different.
Okay.
Because the South Africans had to work, the Australians could take time off. We're hard workers,
Not everyone was so relaxed and kind in the stadium. Should we address the elephant in the room?
I don't think we need to.
I think we need to. One of our most avid listeners.
I don't want to
Talk us through it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we'll leave it.
I mean, you guys can talk about it, but I'm
No,
going
I
to
don't want
stay
to talk
out
about
of
it.
it.
I just got a phone call saying someone headbutted you. And I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, that was
But
one of the stranger things, because I wasn't even the one who was antagonizing.
the nice thing is that
Nobody was antagonizing him. Let's just settle that. Nobody was antagonizing anybody.
Yeah. The nice thing is that you guys have made up. I saw some nice videos of you on day 4, all in arms again, because I was only told last night, the night before when you guys were out drinking. Knights called me and skinnered to me. Said, I got to tell you something.
Yeah, that was. Look, it's all water under the bridge now.
Water under the bridge, and your face is fine, which is good.
My face is fine now.
It's that fucking robust nose they gave you.
Just Stuttgart surgeons are like engineers. They know how to reinforce it.
Yeah. It's like when you bang steel enough and you fucking harden it and you put it
Exactly.
in. Yeah, nice one.
We went to. Do you remember? I used to work on that food show, that Global Food Quest thing.
Yes.
And we did that one video that went really, really viral.
Yeah.
And that was
You stirred up hatred.
No, because we tapped into the Indian market and there's a lot of them.
Okay.
So we actually went back to Southall and we went
Yeah.
to that restaurant again. The only shame, the thing that was a pity was that we were all so hungover that none of us could really do that, eat that much.
Yeah, bro, I literally, you don't know me like this. It was so delicious, and I could my body was just like, mm-mm. You're not eating any of this. And like our friend Fergo took home all the leftovers. Food was delicious. My one observation from that restaurant though is if you've got a Pakistani restaurant where there's a lot of very spicy food consumed, don't just have 3 completely sealed shut cubicles as your men's toilet. It's just
You need some ventilation.
It's not good. Man, the thing is also like there's maybe put some urinals there,
Yeah.
It's make it a bit more spacious. No, just 3. And it was a huge restaurant. They even tell you that they can seat like 700 people and they've got 3 cubicles. And they essentially serve napalm, and then you eat it, and you literally. I went to the loo, and literally 4 times while I was in the loo, someone was pulling.
It must have been panic stations in there. then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite relaxed. The door's locked, but yeah. But the guys were like, "My bro, I've just had fucking whatever you call this."
Vindaloo.
Yeah.
Time to go.
And the service is very slow there, so the chances are that it hits your stomach while you're still at the restaurant. They were at a leisurely place, very attentive but leisurely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I went for brunch on Saturday, and you sort of notice it's strange that in a country like Germany where people aren't used to good service, they're very quick to point out the bad service, but they get it everywhere. Like we got our food, like it took forever to get our food or any drinks and stuff like that. And you always notice when people will sit there, and then someone will be like, "It's really taking forever till these drinks come, eh? I think I'm gonna go speak to someone." I'm like, "Oh Jesus Christ, just relax. They're going to come out in a second." You can see people are very stressed behind the bar. Like, they can't move any quicker.
Read the room.
Yeah. The brunch season has started.
Where did you go?
Where was it?
Somewhere here in Prenzlauer Berg. It's called No Fire, No Glory.
Oh, I know where
I
that
think
is.
so, yeah. It's across the river.
Across from ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good food.
Did you at least get in quickly, or did you have to stand in the queue
No,
like for
reserved.
ABC? Okay.
Yeah. Got special access now.
Utilize it.
I've been getting a lot of good health tips from all the Uber drivers I've been taking. Everyone's got something else for me. Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
One dude was telling me his
Lots of
grandmother's recipe to solve this. You've got to get, what are Weinblätter in English?
Wine
Wine
leaves.
Yeah. Fucking wrap them around, tie them.
Put some rice in them.
No.
And then eat.
And fucking,
Don't matter.
Don't matter.
you wrap it up and then you put it in the sun.
Hey.
Yeah, that's it.
What are we
Yeah.
doing in Western medicine, hey?
And then he was telling me to eat a lot of yogurt.
See Greek.
I was like, that's not a good idea.
Was this
Lactose intolerant.
was
No,
this
but
a
it's
Greek?
good for your
I don't know.
stomach flora.
Yeah, so
it's good for your
I've been getting a lot
probiotics.
of, but all the taxi drivers have been super nice. I mean, I've spent a shitload of money on Ubers until now.
You say that, right? But when I had my surgery last year, I had a 5-star rating on Uber, and because I used Uber so much with my foot, my rating went down. Some dude was like, "It's too slow for me."
Maybe it's the one that you promised you'd do the wedding photos or the engagement photos out of a helicopter and you never did.
Yo, you know the
You
story.
overquoted him, bro. No, I know the story.
Yeah.
This guy just wants to do something nice for his girlfriend, and you just saw it
Exactly.
as an opportunity to be a capitalistic shark.
Yeah.
To be fair, I said, "Here's my number," and he never got in contact with me. So
He was probably
What
like,
more
if
should I
this,
do?
if this guy works as slow as he moves, then it's never going to take place, that shoot.
maybe he didn't even get engaged.
That's true.
Ooh, spicy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe I should phone him back.
See if maybe you can cop a late wedding invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I've been on my crutches. Yesterday I walked for a kilometer, not on purpose, but like had to get around, and it almost finished me. I was shaking, my arms were shaking, it's fucking drenched. It's
Yeah,
tough.
it's just a cuck when winters are so shit because it rains and it's terrible and it's depressing. But I think when it starts to get really hot, being on crutches is
It's tough.
Yesterday was like 32 degrees, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is lovely. I was kind of hoping you guys would have a terrible summer while I've got this, but now it seems like you'll have a good one.
Well, I mean, the whole week kind of rainy?
One last thing, my observation is I'm starting to struggle with AI videos to distinguish from reality. Did you guys see that video of the lion in the supermarket?
Yes. But come now.
I was
Oh my
watching this
God.
and I was like, Jesus, there's a lion in a supermarket.
Okay, Maxi.
Can't believe it. Have you seen the ones? There's also ones now where there's like flooding and then there's a reporter and these guys disappear in sinkholes.
Okay, but that is very unrealistic. What if a lion literally is like, well, I'm just going to go to the meat aisle in the supermarket then?
The thing is, I think the same thing applies to when you're either being scammed because the chances of a Nigerian prince really having money for you are very low. And then you also have to look at the source. If you look at the accounts that share those videos, you can see that it's a spam account. Everyone must relax.
I checked lion in South African supermarket and there was nothing in the news. So then I was like,
I'm loving the AI videos where it's like a koala bear that's bogan and he's like, how you going, mate? And he's just doing like a selfie and he's like running
saw that
around.
one.
God, funny, bro.
but that's not going to make
But
me
I'm
question.
pretty sure that that's not real.
That's like
Pretty
Zani-
sure.
That's like my girlfriend's dad. We were watching a whole movie with Harrison Ford. I think it's called Buck the dog or some shit. And it's Harrison Ford who like lives in the wilderness with this beautiful dog, but this dog like very very clearly was fucking computer generated. And like was doing things that no dog can do, like not talking but like very
I was
close
gonna
to
say,
it.
like speaking.
Backflips.
No, just like like everything was. And then at some point Zanya's dad looks over at us, he goes, wow, I wonder how they taught this dog how to act like this.
How to use cutlery.
He's in big shit with AI because that was like that was very clear.
Well, clearly so am I, because I had to Google that lion story because I was like, my God, I hope people are all right.
Where was it?
They were like lion in South African supermarket.
Okay, at least it was plausible. It wasn't like Edeka in Berlin or something.
Do you remember when those what was it? Wolves?
No,
there was
it was a pig, bro.
yeah, but they thought it was a lion.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
remember that.
Yeah.
That was wild.
And
That was strange.
escaped, or they thought it had escaped from some guy who was keeping
Yeah.
wild animals.
And of course, they jumped straight to like he lives in an area where people have a lot of money and come from areas where they like to keep lions. I love stories like that where they like all of a sudden there's like everyone's got the most plausible idea.
That
And
was
they
a-
just spin and like the whole city was like, what the fuck? And then they were like, no, we think it's a wild boar.
No, kind of anticlimactic. Anything else for our What a Week segment?
No.
All right.
Glad to be home. Time to recover.
Thank you very much for listening this week. If you haven't listened to them already, listen to our rugby episode where we review the URC final and our World Test Championship episode where Dom and Klaus tell us what Lords was like. Fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Cheerio.
Bye.